In this video, we are scaling up the level and we are moving to the advanced features of the Python, that is a Lambda function. Now, what is a Lambda function and why to use it? These are the anonymous functions without any name. Consider a situation when you want to compute a single operation on a single value. I already told you that I encourage you to create the functions for the better readability of the code. But when it's about the computation on a single value, you don't probably want to create a function that you need to use the def keyword and then write the indentation and then you write the return statement. It's gonna be hectic. So then Lambda functions came into play. It allows you to write the function in a single line. In order to create a Lambda function, you need to write in the keyword Lambda. And then you write the value on which you want to compute something. So let's say X. And then you write colon, and then you write the expression that you want to compute. So let's say I want to go for calculating the double of the X. So X multiplied by 2. This is how you create a Lambda function. And I told you that whenever we are going to create a function, it has a return statement. And return statements returns a value to a variable. So you need to store the entire Lambda function into a variable. So we can create another variable as q equals lambda x colon x into 2. Now if I just run it, it has been compiled. Now all you need to do is type in here q and then you pass the value of x. So let's say I want to go for 4. Now if I just press shift and enter, you see 8. Let's compare the lambda function with the normal function. This time I am going to create a function that is going to calculate a cube of a function. So let's just define a function with name cube that is going to take an argument as y, and then I am going to return y times y times y. So I just defined a function cube y with this and I compiled it. Now I am going to create a lambda function for the same thing. So this time I am going to be store it into a new variable g equals then lambda, and then I write in my expression. So let's say it's x and then semicolon and then I write the expression. So I want to calculate the cube of a number. So x into x into x. Now I just compiled it. Now I have compiled both of my functions. So now I am going to print these values by cube. Let's find the cube of 5. So if I write cube 5 and shift enter, I got the 125. But if I type in here g and 5, then I also got the 125. Now the only difference that you can see is on the length of the code. Now I used 2 lines of code, but I did same thing in a single line of code. So that's how you can better write down the codes. It's the efficient way of writing a code. When you want to make a single computation or when you want to compute a single expression, then you can directly use the lambda function. Let's just solve another example with the lambda function. But this time, this is going to be a little trickier. Now, what I'm going to do, I am going to calculate the sum of first n natural numbers. Before starting this, I want you to take some time and think how you can do that. Alright, in order to do that, you need to remember two functions. And you are familiar with both two functions. So the first function is the range function. Now let's better understand the range function. Now if I write here range and then I pass in some number like 5, and if I press shift enter, you can see we had a range from 0 to 5. That means it's going to be like 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is how a range function works. It creates a range from initial value to the last value. It's going to create a list of the values. And when we have the list and you want to calculate the sum of a list, then we had a function called sum. So using these two functions, we can create a major function that is going to calculate the sum of first and natural number. So let's just give it a try. Now, as I mentioned, now I am going to use range function because I want to first create the list of all the n natural numbers. So I am going to pass here x because my x is the value that is going to used for the computation. And once I created the list, then I need to find the sum of the complete list. So in order to do that, I'm going to use sum function. Now if I just did that, and then we need to compile it. Now it has been compiled. Let's just call our function g with value 5. Now if I just enter it, you can see 10. It's 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which equals 10. It's been very easier to do such heavy tasks using such functions.